For decades, they called it a conspiracy theory. They mocked the warnings, dismissed the evidence, and told you those streaks in the sky were just harmless condensation. But now, one of their own is stepping forward. A former military and commercial pilot who spent decades spraying the skies with toxic payloads under classified orders is breaking his silence. He's dying, he's out of time, and he's done lying. No more hiding behind paychecks, no more hiding behind orders. He's naming names, exposing the operations, and confirming what critical thinkers have known all along. Geoengineering isn't coming, it's been here for decades. This is the whistleblower the world wasn't supposed to hear. But this time, you're going to hear everything. Before we dive in, join the TPV free speech community over on Soju. Soju is a digital space where ideas and information can take place without any annoying algorithms or restrictive rules getting in the way of free expression. For decades, they told us we were crazy, that those long white streaks in the sky were nothing but harmless condensation trails. The mainstream media mocked, government agencies covered up the truth, and anybody who dared to question it, including those from inside the agencies responsible for doing the work, labelled as conspiracy theorists, dismissed, ridiculed, ignored. But here's the truth. Conspiracy theorist is just what the brainwash call the critical thinker. It's a smear used by those too afraid or too programmed to ask real questions. But now the dam is breaking. We've reached a tipping point to critical mass, and the people are finally waking up. Some states, like Florida and Tennessee, have even passed laws to limit aerial spraying, including criminal penalties for those involved, and hotlines for the public to report chemtrails crimes. But here's the catch. Those state laws only govern airspace below 2,000 feet. It's what's happening above that invisible ceiling that's fueling the real damage, the part they never talk about. Take a look at the skies over Florida today. Cirrostratus clouds, high-altitude, veil-like formations now seem to blanket the state on a daily basis. Let's be clear, these hazy, washed-out skies are not normal for Florida summers. Not naturally, not historically. So why are they showing up now, day after day? And look closer at the sun. Not the brilliant golden orb we grew up with, but a small cold white disk, dimmed behind layers of artificial haze. What changed? The atmosphere, or the truth that we've been told? What was once dismissed as a conspiracy theory has now become an undeniable fact. The campaign to block the sun is real, and it's accelerating. And our governments? They're not just complicit. They're active participants in this crime against humanity. In 2025, the agenda took a darker turn. Figures like Bill Gates and George Soros poured tens of millions into geoengineering schemes, spraying aerosols into the atmosphere to dim the sun, the very source of all life on Earth. Then came the quiet confession. The British government admitted it. They're using taxpayer funds to help block the sun with chemtrails.
But, as always, I say, what's a conspiracy theory on outsiders? Just give it a matter of time and it becomes the truth. Here we go. In Britain this week, I couldn't believe it. They have announced, the British government has announced they're spending £50 million on experiments to dim the sun using chemical trails in the air to combat climate change. You couldn't make it up, but they're doing it.
Britain? What country? What country? The sun-soaked land of what?
And just like that, the media had to pivot. What was once mocked as chemtrails nonsense is now sold to the public as a noble solution to climate change. But those of us who've been watching, really watching, know the truth. The so-called science is little more than state-approved propaganda. The media narratives, carefully scripted distractions. And the truth? It's been in plain sight the entire time, hidden only by our willingness to look away. The US patent to spray barium and other heavy metals, including aluminium, into the atmosphere to create clouds is now over 50 years old. If you want to hear how the technology has since improved, hang in there. We've got an astonishing confession from the inside. A real chemtrails pilot coming up in a minute. For those who endured the great engineered fog that cloaked cities across the US and Europe, leaving a residue of the same chemicals found in chemtrails, brace yourselves, because the assault isn't over. The elites have not finished poisoning our skies, not even close. Now, we're witnessing the next phase. Engineered heat waves, sharp and unnatural, targeting entire regions across the US while people sleep. As Dane Wigington reports.
Dangerous heat bursts have been spiking temperatures across the US as people sleep. So the report asks, what are they? ? That's from the UK Independent. The report continues, heat bursts can bring dangerous winds and a rapid 20-plus degree temperature spike in just a matter of minutes. The report then says it also brings strong, dry winds like a desert hurricane, end quote. Stop there. Question, with the exception of the power structure bought and paid for so-called weather experts, does anyone that is still firing on all neurons actually believe that middle of the night desert hurricane heat bursts that come out of nowhere in a matter of minutes, according to the report, are just random acts of nature?
Anybody who believes these heat bursts are random acts of nature needs to wake up and smell the coffee. Whenever the media starts seeding headlines with talk of Saharan dust, it's rarely just about the weather. Because when the narrative is prepared in advance, it's not about informing the public, it's about covering tracks before the real story unfolds.
A cloud of Saharan dust is about to sweep across the southeastern United States. Carried by powerful winds from the Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, this dust plume has traveled thousands of miles across the Atlantic Ocean and is now closing in on states like Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. The phenomenon, known as the Saharan air layer, forms when desert winds lift huge amounts of dust into the atmosphere, sometimes creating clouds up to 4 kilometers thick. This isn't just any weather event. While it can pose serious health risks for people with asthma, allergies, or respiratory conditions, it also plays a complex role in the climate. The dust can reduce air quality and limit visibility.
What's really going on here? Coming up next, you're going to hear something rare, a confession, from someone who was up there, a pilot with a conscience, finally ready to talk. And once you hear what he has to say, you'll never look at the sky the same way again.
Think the healthiest thing in your pantry right now is some overpriced superfood? Wrong. It's actually olive oil. Yeah, that bottle you've got sitting in your cupboard isn't just for cooking, it's a weapon to help you look and feel younger inside and out. No big pharma potions, just nature's real deal. Dr. Stephen Gundry, a rogue surgeon who's done with the system, says high-quality olive oil is a game changer. The problem is the industry is a cesspool. Nearly all brands in stores are watered-down junk, pushed for profit, not your health. Dr. Gundry has had enough. He's exposing the real truth about olive oil with a free video for viewers of this channel. He'll show you how to spot the real stuff that works wonders for your body with just a few tablespoons. This isn't hype, it's the truth they don't want you to know about. Visit getolive1.com/TPV, the link's below. I've watched his free video and the information blew me away. If you're genuinely interested in changing your life with olive oil, go to getolive1.com/TPV now. You won't regret it. While the chemtrails cover-up is unravelling at an astonishing pace, the elites are far from surrendering. They're still pulling the strings behind the scenes, ordering mainstream media outlets worldwide to bury their past crimes under layers of distraction and denial. The gaslighting hasn't stopped, it's only evolved.
It would be impossible to conduct large-scale weather modification experiments in secret. It just can't be done. The amount of aircraft needed to fly this material to where it needs to go, and the radiative effect are like would be easily obtainable by publicly available information.
The truth is, more and more whistleblowers are stepping out of the shadows to blow the whistle on the coordinated global agenda by the elites to control our skies and manipulate the population through toxic aerosols sprayed from high altitudes. We have whistleblowers from the military and private industry, as well as those from deep in the darkest corners of the deep state agencies, including DARPA and the Department of Energy. And we have chemtrails pilots on tape admitting their crimes, while trying to defend them in the face of an angry public.
And we are tired of you dumping heavy metals all over our county.
Okay. Well, I'm not the one to talk to about that.
No, but you are. But you're the one that's doing it. So I've been taking rain samples. I have over 20 samples. And every time you fly, we get high amounts of aluminum, barium, strontium, titanium, magnesium. So I want to know, are you aware of what you're doing? I know you think it's like to increase water supply for Turlock and Modesto, but it's not really happening.
Yeah, you can talk to them.
I've tried. I've called them, and they're not calling me back. So we're now getting really involved, and now we're going to bring something legal against your company.
Okay, well, you can talk to them about that for
I know,
sure.
but
So.
I want you to know, though, like, we are real people underneath what you're doing. You spray right over our houses. We hear you. We know you. We see you. We're watching your planes and your patterns, okay?
Yeah,
it's twice today now. You did 2 flights. 2 3-hour flights.
It's public knowledge, yeah.
It's not really, though. That's the problem. So you have not properly notified our Board of Supervisors about this.
And now, for the first time, we're hearing from a chemtrails pilot who isn't hiding behind denial or a paycheck. He's not here to defend the operation. He's here because he's paying the price for it. After years of flying missions, exposed to the very toxins he helped release, his body is breaking down. Slowly poisoned by prolonged proximity to aerosolized chemicals, he's endured years of declining health, mental torment, and crippling depression. And now, with only months left to live, he's chosen to break silence. Not for sympathy, but for truth.
My name is not important right now. What matters is what I've done, and what they're still doing. I flew for the United States Air Force for 17 years. After that, I spent another 15 in commercial aviation, mostly long haul. On paper, I was a military pilot turned airline captain, but in practice, I was something else entirely. I was a geoengineering asset, a tanker terminator, a cog in a machine that most people don't even know exists, or refuse to believe exists. Starting in the late 1990s, I was briefed into Operation Indigo Ice. That's what they called it back then. We were told it was a climate defense initiative under the ENMOD mandate, environmental modification for peace purposes. That was the cover story, a lie cloaked in national security language. We were spraying aerosolized dispersants at high altitudes, usually between 28,000 and 38,000 feet, depending on humidity and temperature layers. The payloads varied: aluminum oxide, barium salts, strontium compounds, and yes, coal fly ash, a toxic byproduct most of the public has never even heard of. The deliveries were embedded in the aircraft, mixed in the fuel at the refinery level, undetectable to ground crews or flight engineers. We were told this was above our clearance, but we knew the systems. Pressurized dispersal units, nozzle arrays hidden in the fairings, synchronized with auto-flight programs, finally, fully automated. We didn't even need to flip a switch. Most of the spraying was done along predetermined corridors, polar routes, NATO, airspace corridors, or sparsely populated regions, and major metropolises at night, and always under the cover of persistent contrails. I never questioned it, not at first. The checks were good, real good. I was single, no kids. No one to answer to, no one to disappoint. I trusted my superiors. I thought, or convinced myself, that we were helping to stabilize the climate. But the last few years, it caught up with me, physically, mentally. I've been diagnosed with systemic heavy metal toxicity. My bones ache constantly. My memory slips. I've developed tremors, insomnia, and deep spiraling depression. Doctors found elevated levels of cadmium, mercury, and arsenic in my tissues. Levels that make no sense for a civilian, but they make perfect sense for someone sitting less than 20 feet from aerosol payload tanks for half his adult life. And now they've told me I have maybe 6 months. So I'm done being silent. I wasted too many years lying to myself, telling myself it was for the greater good, that the public couldn't handle the truth, that I was just a pilot doing his job. But the truth is, I was always complicit. I was complicit in crimes against humanity. Every day I flew those missions. I helped poison our skies, our soil, our people. I didn't think about children breathing this stuff in, or how it might accelerate Alzheimer's in the elderly. I didn't think at all. I just flew the routes, took the money, and kept my mouth shut. But that ends now. I've agreed to sit for a series of recorded interviews, face visible, name and history revealed. I want it all out in the open. The routes, the logistics, the funding chains. I'm naming names. I owe that much to the people I helped betray. The call is just the first wave. We're finalizing the logistics as I speak. The doctors say I've got 6 months, maybe less. But I need to move fast, because if they find out what I'm doing, I won't make it that long.
The fact is, for decades, courageous voices have tried to warn us. Artists like Prince, who hinted at the agenda long before it was acceptable to question it.
And so that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why. Okay? And you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting.
Relentless truth tellers like Dane Wigington have been exposing the mechanics of geoengineering while the world rolled its eyes. And now RFK Jr. stands at a crossroads, with the power and platform to finally shatter the silence. This is his moment, to step up, to fulfill his campaign promises, and to help bring an end to this engineered madness before it's too late. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elites, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.